So earlier this week, or I guess last week by the time you guys see this, my buddy Max over on the Guitar Max channel put up a video, about somebody stealing, somebody stealing a guitar from from a local guitar shop, basically shoving the neck down, down his pants, and Max actually put together a pretty entertaining video regarding that, because I wasn't going to expect him to try to demonstrate it and see how efficient at it that particular strategy is. But he mentioned me and my retail experience there in that video, and asked for anybody to share any stories. So all my years, I've got stories for days. I've got plenty of them. But the truth is, that scenario, somebody trying to steal a guitar by shoving it down their pants. I've been seeing videos of people doing that for years, and unfortunately, sometimes those people are successful. Unfortunately, there's a lot of theft. There's a lot of fraud in the MI business. And it's just a fact of life that we have to learn to live with, and be prepared for and be on the lookout for. There's certain things that that we're trained to keep an eye out for. People wear big guys coming in wearing great big baggy jackets and and sweatshirts and stuff like that. Particularly if it's not really cold outside. That's usually a huge red flag. Two people. I remember one time we had a lady that kept coming in trying to fraudulently purchase MacBooks. Mac, all kinds of Apple products. And Apple has has their own security measures in place. But I'll never forget. She always came in. She wore these dark, blacked out sunglasses and never took them off. And then when we started asking her all the questions, she'd freak out, and then out the door she went before any harm could be done. So, and before she got caught. But like I said, I've got stories for days, and it's an unfortunate part of the industry that we just have to deal with. But my all-time favorite story I will share. When I was still working as a manager at the store. The loss prevention manager for the region at that time was a guy named Bruce. I'm not going to use his last name, but his first name was Bruce. Those of you that know Bruce know Bruce. For those of you that don't know Bruce was every bit of 6'7", probably I think he was 6'8", every bit of 350, probably 400 pounds. And he was really loud and really intimidating. He'd come into the store and say, "I ain't mad at you. That's just how I talk." And that was how he talked all the time. Like I said, Bruce is really, really intimidating. He was a retired Chicago police officer. So he was trained to be intimidating, and he was just a big tough guy. I don't know if he's still with the company or not, but he's just a big tough guy, great guy. But you didn't want to piss him off. You didn't want to get on his bad side. It's pretty widely known that if Bruce shows up at your store unannounced, somebody's about to get fired. At least, if you know he's coming, probably in good shape. If you don't know he's coming, somebody's getting fired. Well, one day over in a pro audio department, a young kid was over there. It was a Saturday afternoon or something. It was a busy day. There was a lot of people in there, and we had stacks of MIDI controllers stacked up around various different parts of the keyboard area. Most of the the $200 and $300 models, M Audio stuff. For example, nothing really high end, but still $300-400 MIDI controller. And this one particular day, Bruce happened to be in the store, and this kid was back there milling around audio, waiting until he thought nobody was watching him, grabs one off the stack, tucks it under his arm, and just starts trucking for the front door. He's bound and determined to get out there. Meanwhile, one of the guys behind the counter in audio, you know, started yelling, "Hey, stop that guy! He's still the controller!" Bruce had, like I said, Bruce happened to be in the store that day, and Bruce heard all the commotion going on from around the corner. Bruce steps around the corner just as this kid's trying to exit audio and head to the front door, bounced off of Bruce like a brick wall and wound up on the floor. So Bruce yelled at him for a minute and then eventually sat on him until the police got there to arrest him. And then he walked out. And then the kid walked out in handcuffs. And we never saw him again. Gotta love Bruce, man. Gotta love Bruce. Yeah, stories for days. It's an unfortunate side of the industry, but there's also some pretty good stories that came with it. So, leave me your thoughts down in the comments section. Let me know if you got any good stories, particularly if you happen to know Bruce. And if you know Bruce, you know Bruce. Also, I'll post a link to Max's video down in the description so that you know what we are talking about here. Like I said, I would love to hear your thoughts, and if you got any good stories, these are always good stories to share. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.